I think it is just normal for them to do that to people. We had lots of comments regarding the incident about what did you expect? Well, I didn't expect any different. It doesn't make it right, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to do everything I can to try and hold them to account for what they did.
Well, it's sickening that this has now become commonplace, that we just think this is the normal. You say you've seen far worse or had far worse. What else have you suffered at the hands of these hooligans?
Oh, just lots of violence. The last time I was arrested, when they tried to take me to court, I was asking them to get me numbers from my phone in case I got sent to prison, because I would have to sort out childcare. And because I wouldn't get into the prison van to go to court, I got repeatedly kicked and punched, and then had my hand slammed in the door about 4 times. Oh.
So that's pretty hardcore torture. Imagine if Abu Ghraib, they were slamming people's hands in doors. There'd be an international outcry. But I guess if it's 2 women from Britannia, then it's normal.
Yeah, I'm not sure we get quite as bad treatment as they had in Abu Ghraib. But, I mean, you're right. It's about pain compliance being used as not just a method of control. It's a way of causing a lot of pain.
And see, they label it. If I walked up to a cop and hit him in the head with a ball-peen hammer, it'd be attempted murder. But what if I called it friendly hello time? Oh, we're torturing you. It's just pain compliance. We're going to be right back, ladies. I want to talk about where this is going on the other side. Stay with us. I'm not going to say anything about it until it comes out in the newspaper, but one of the biggest newspapers in the country is here. And I was explaining to her that in England and now in the U.S., taking your shoes off at the airports is about an act of submission, an act of you're a criminal, you're bad. And how Paul Watson, Steve Watson get questioned by police when they go out to eat dinner. I've been there and been questioned. It's in the news that if you're at a park walking a dog, the police come up and take photos of you and say, are you a child molester? Or they come up and say, you're a terrorist. Tourist, now in D.C., everywhere we go, we'd be 100 yards from the Washington Monument, and they come up and say, you can't videotape that. And I go, what's the law? All right, buddy, we're going to arrest you. You got a problem? And this is about them bullying us and cowing us. And she goes, oh, I know. I was in England last week. They came up and told me I couldn't take photos at public places because of a child molestation law. So you're a terrorist, you're a child molester. We're all criminals basically now. This is about they're good, they're God. All the billboards about click it or ticket, and the cops are watching you. They have big signs all over London that say safe under the watchful eyes, and it shows a big brother, one eye looking at you. This is, they know what they're doing. This is a criminal rogue government. Going back to Emily Apple and Val Swain. Ladies, you heard me just talk about that. What is going on in England and the United States?
Well, I can't talk about the United States. I don't know anything about it. You're right in terms of surveillance and control has increased enormously, and what we're concerned about is particularly on protests where there is such a large-scale documentation of people that are involved.
Well, the misconduct of the police is being caught on video cameras everywhere, and they're scared, and they know it's beating them. And their attempt to say it's terrorism or pedophilia to have a camera and take a picture of the Washington Monument, it isn't going to work. I don't see this working for them.
I don't think it will, ultimately, because I think people are really beginning to realise what's going on. I don't think the police are really that different. I think what's changed is that there's so much more technology around for people to capture what they're doing, and also the arrogance that, for example, the video of our arrest, that they thought it was okay to video that. And
exactly, that's what I was going to ask you. Why are they so arrogant to torture women, slam their hands in car doors, and laugh about it on video? We have New York cops coming up to 9/11 activists, truth activists in New York saying, I'm going to say your camera's a gun, your backpack's a bomb, I know you're not a terrorist. It's on video, but I'm going to say you are. And then the police grab Luke Radowski. They are framing people on video proudly. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think they're very arrogant. They are not easily held to account. If they do this sort of thing, what happens to them? Not an awful lot. Even if it goes through the press, even if it goes through the complaint system, even if it goes through the courts, at the end of the day, there's not a lot that's going to happen to them as a result of it. So you know, they pretty much feel that they can do what they want.
Did you hear about Army and Marine Corps recruiters in Texas and in Colorado and other states lie to kids and say you'll be arrested if you don't sign and join the military? And then when the tapes get released, those guys get promoted?
That's just obscene.
I mean, is the state going completely criminal?
I think the state's always been a bit criminal. I'm not sure it's going that way. I think it is that way. The state's always worked in the interest of the rich and the powerful over everyone else, and in that sense, I think it's always been criminal, and it always devised laws and strategies to keep the rich and powerful in power.
So where does it go from here with this case? Are these cops going to get in trouble, or are they going to end up being chief constables for this, the more people they torture?
Oh, my money's on the chief constable. I can't see them getting into trouble particularly.
So they're going to end up probably being prime minister and deputy prime minister. All right.
Oh, he's commissioner of police, yeah.
Head of public order.
And so where does it end? Them all wearing little gold crowns and being worshipped, or?
Oh, it ends when enough people stand up to them and say, we're not going to take this anymore and we're going to do something about it. It doesn't come through politicians saying this is bad. It comes from people on the street actually doing something about it and just saying no.
Yeah, because they're just bullies at the end of the day, and like all bullies, you know, you just have to stand up to them, you know.
Well, you ladies are just amazing. I want to do a few more minutes with you on the other side, and then we'll let you go and also plug your great site. But I want to ask you when we get back how you got involved with this, why the police torture you for it, and if more people are joining you. I mean, I would love to see, instead of 2 women out there videotaping them, 100 men and women, so that they can't arrest everybody for videotaping the supposed kings. Because, I mean, folks, men and women in black uniforms choking and torturing women, it's tyranny. And if they can do this, they can do anything. Like take your pension funds and bankrupt everything and set up a world government, which is exactly what they're doing. But hey, drink more sodium fluoride, everything's fine.